This conference will now be recorded.
All right, folks, so we're going to be taking the next few minutes and discussing the identification of the different types of blood cells. And so we're looking at here a blood smear, and we're seeing that this slide here has them labeled as far as the different types of white blood cells, the leukocytes, in addition to the erythrocytes, the red blood cells, and you see here a platelet. Okay, so as we're looking here, and we can see that this is a neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, lymphocyte, monocyte. Here we have the granulocytes. Here we have the agranulocytes. So with the granulocytes, we have the neutrophil, and you'll see here the polylobed, multiple lobed nucleus. We'll see here for the eosinophil that we have the red cytoplasm. And for the basophil, we have a very dark cytoplasm so that the nucleus really blends in with the cytoplasm of the basophil. Here we have the lymphocyte, and you'll see here that many times you'll just see a crescent moon shaped cytoplasm and a very large nucleus that takes up the majority of the cytoplasm, and it's usually oval shaped. And where we have then the monocyte is one of the larger, it is the largest of the white blood cells that are present. And you'll see here that many times there's like it almost looks like a kidney bean shaped, okay? So we'll take a look at some examples of these, okay? So let's move on then to our next slide here. And let me just move this over. So let's make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, so we have here the neutrophils. Again, you're seeing there are multiple lobes as far as the nuclei are concerned for the neutrophils. Remember that it's as far as the numbers are concerned, how many are present within the blood in a healthy individual, neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and then lastly, basophils are very low in number as far as present within the blood. So we have here the eosinophil. Again, you're seeing the red cytoplasm stained red, and you're seeing here the very darkly stained cytoplasm of the basophil. So it's really hard to differentiate between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. As we come over here to the lymphocyte, again, you're seeing here this really crescent moon shaped, very small cytoplasm remaining present within the nucleus of the lymphocyte, takes up the majority of the cell. And then here again, we're looking at that kidney shaped nucleus of the monocyte, and it's a very large cell. And here you're seeing a platelet and such, and you see some platelets throughout. Okay, so let's take a look at some more. Let's take a look at some other examples of neutrophils. So here's an example of a neutrophil. And again, the distinctive factor here would be that you're seeing that there's multiple lobes present. And really, when you look at a slide, many times you're going to have the neutrophils are going to be in an abundance in comparison to all the other white blood cells. Okay, we'll take a look also at this slide right here. And here you're seeing a few of the erythrocytes, platelets, and neutrophils. So here you're seeing multiple examples of neutrophils, and they are definitely distinct in their appearance. Okay, neutrophils. As we look at next, as far as the granulocytes are concerned, and looking at the eosinophils, let's take a look at this image here. And what you're seeing here is that, so here would represent, this looks like a basophil, okay? But it's kind of a small basophil, really. But you can see as far as the dark cytoplasm, as well as, really hard to differentiate between the cytoplasm and the nucleus of the cell. But you're seeing here these eosinophils, they're red stained, distinctively red stained cytoplasm. And again, platelets and erythrocytes present in that slide. Let's look at another example of the eosinophil. Right here. Here we go. And again, you're seeing here that we have some platelets and some erythrocytes, many erythrocytes and many platelets. And then we have 3 of these eosinophils, red stained cytoplasm of the cell, okay, eosinophils. And then lastly, we have the basophils for the agranulocytes. So for the granulocytes, sorry, the granulocytes. So here we're seeing that we have this white blood cell And you can see the cytoplasm is very darkly stained, and it's really hard to differentiate the nucleus from the cytoplasm. And so that we're looking at a basophil. And again, you're seeing here, we can see nucleus, but really the cytoplasm is darkly stained. And so we know that this would be an example of a basophil. Now let's look at some lymphocytes. And in particular, we'll look at this image of many lymphocytes are demonstrated here. And this is as a result of lymphocytic leukemia. And you're seeing here that really, we only have that really small area of the cytoplasm that is viewed. Predominantly, the cell is made up of the nucleus of the cell, and it's oval in shape. Lymphocytes. And know that we have T and B lymphocytes, and we'll discuss them in greater detail when we look at the immune system and the lymphatic system. And here's one more as far as here's the lymphocyte. Here we go. So here we have an example of this is a lymphocyte. See, it's very small area of cytoplasm viewed. And here we have neutrophils, okay, and some erythrocytes. And then lastly, the monocytes. We'll look at 3 images of the monocytes. And here would be an example of a monocyte. Okay. You'll see here that it's a very large cell in comparison to the erythrocytes, and it has this unique shaped nucleus. This would be a classic example of a monocyte. Large cell, looks like a kidney bean shaped nucleus. And lastly, here we have this monocyte with this kidney-shaped presentation of the nucleus, and you can see quite a bit of the cytoplasm. And these are the erythrocytes. All right, very good, folks. I hope that helps.